Hello everyone, it's Catherine here from Inky Fingered Cat. It's been a little while, but I thought I would share a scrapbook page. I'm going to try and do a few more this year. This is actually a kit from Hey Little Magpie that Sarah Davies designed. Please do check out her YouTube channel. She has amazing pages that she shares, and I have a lot of the time I get inspired by what she's doing. So I bought the kit. Well, no, I ordered the kit, then didn't manage to go to the crop, and Sarah kindly did give me this as a gift for Christmas. So thank you, Sarah. I know that you do watch my videos occasionally, so thank you. It's really appreciated. It was a lovely little Christmas treat of crafty stuff. So it was really nice to play with this. The kit itself is obviously themed around autumn, but I ended up, rather than scrapping a more recent picture, I ended up scrapping a really old picture of my grandma and granddad. Because I thought the vintage colours and the patterns worked quite well with grandma's outfit and then the decor in the background, and I just thought it worked. So I will say the vast majority of this is just covering, pretty much following what Sarah's done in her page. So I've got it off to the right hand side. There are instructions. I don't follow instructions. I'm not very good at following instructions. I feel like a rebel and I want to do something different. I'm such a rule follower in normal life, so when it comes to crafting, I don't like following rules. But I did use the page that she'd done as the inspiration and the layout. So it is very much what she's asked us to do, but I've not followed the direct instructions. And also I pull in some additional stash. So this is me just sort of like pretty much working out, right, this is where this goes. I've already gone a little bit off piece because I've added some bits of that rub on in some different places, but I'm going to pretty much keep it as is. Unusually no mixed media at this point. Normally I would, but I think with that little rub on going in the background, I just decided it didn't really need it. And again, I've sort of now decided to almost ignore the sketch and just start adding in bits and pieces as and where I want them to be. So I've already started to add in some of those little branches that are rub-ons, and now I have gone and grabbed what is left of my I've totally forgotten what it's called, 49th Market spice kit. I bought some extra bits and pieces, plus there was some stuff left over from the ultimate page kit thing. They're all in this pouch. I just tipped them out and thought, right, well, some of the colours of these will work perfectly with the photograph and the papers, so I'm just pulling in some bits and pieces that I think work, some of which work brilliantly and I use straight away, and some of which I go, no, I'm not sure about that. So I do sit and filter through it, but I thought I'd tell you a little bit about the photo. I don't know anything about the photo. So as I was scrapping this, I was thinking, I have no idea why Grandma and Grandad were at our house that day or what was going on. I do recognise it being our house. It's definitely in the 1980s, but I genuinely have no idea what's going on. There is another picture that I've got in the pouch of photographs that's also of my Uncle Alf and Auntie Lou, who are also at our house on the sofa, so it must have just been a family day. And the reason I don't really know is because Grandma and Grandad didn't live near us. So Grandad is my granddad, he's my mum's dad, and Grandma is his second wife. I didn't know either of my birth grandmas, my actual biological grandmas, but he married my grandma when I was quite young, and she was always just grandma to me. It didn't really matter that she wasn't, naturally my grandma. Which is quite funny because in our family she got called all sorts of names in terms of, that sounds horrible, doesn't it? She got called all sorts of names. But no, my mum and dad called her Rita because her name was Rita, and my cousin didn't call her grandma, but then she did have another grandma from her dad's side. But yeah, she didn't call her grandma, she called her Auntie Rita. So yeah, very strange, but we all knew she wasn't biologically my grandma. But yeah, she was my grandma to me. But they lived down in Swansea. So when I was little and my granddad met my grandma, he moved down to Swansea to be with her. So didn't live anywhere near us. So when they came up, we probably did always do some form of celebration because it was not a common occurrence. Apologies that this has gone really slow, but actually this just emphasises, oh my word, doing buttons with tiny little holes and a quite thick wax thread took me ages. So I did cut some of this out so you don't have to watch me do it painfully all the way through, and I don't know why it's slow. So let's speed that up. Okay, back to normal. So I do cut some of this out because there was 5 buttons in total, and I don't like a bare button. I like a button that's got thread in it. So yeah, that took quite a lot of fiddling. So I have no idea why Grandma and Grandad were at our house. I don't know what occasion it was. I don't know when it was, what date. As I say, I think it was at the 1980s, but this was definitely our house when we were growing up because I recognised both the stereo and the picture on the wall. That's pretty much it. So there's not a huge amount of journaling, but it's a lovely picture of Grandma and Grandad, and I don't think I've got very many pictures of Grandma and Grandad at all, again, because we didn't see them that often, so it was nice to see them. Okay, back to the scrapbooking. The kit that Sarah's put together includes these fabulous rub-ons. Now, some of them obviously are going directly onto the background, with it being a white base 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. But when I wanted them to slightly overlap, I'm assuming that I didn't get this far in reading the instructions, but I'm assuming that this is what Sarah had done, is that she's adhered them, rubbed them onto a piece of white paper. She did include white paper in the kit. I'd already used some of it because I'd used it to mount the photograph. But yeah, that's what I'm doing here, is I'm doing rub-ons onto this scrap paper that happens to be in the kit. I'm assuming this was what it was for, so that I can cut them out and lay them up onto other things like the papers or the photograph, etc. They end up with a lovely little white border from the fussy cutting, but it means that they're not going directly onto the pattern papers or the photograph, etc. And then again, I did follow the sort of the page layout in terms of I decided to keep to the same title of Thankful. I will add journal. I didn't add journaling on camera. I need to do that actually, but I needed the last bit, the paint splatters, to dry, which, there you go, spoiler alert, there's paint splatters coming up. But yeah, I'm going to add some little strips of journaling, a little bit like, again, on the sketch, on the layout that Sarah's done. I'm going to add just a little bit about how I didn't actually know what this photo was from and why Grandma and Grandad were at our house, what the occasion was, or indeed when it was. But it was I'm thankful that I had them in my life when I was younger, and that we got to see them occasionally, even if it wasn't that often. So I went to town with some of the rub-ons. Again, I've sort of created 3 cluster areas. So there's the top right, the bottom right, and then sort of down the left-hand side, but mainly towards the top, if you know what I mean. I decided to add in a little bit more of that wax string and just fiddled around trying to glue it into place in a few places so that it wouldn't wiggle around too much, but kept the ends kind of loose, and did that underneath that sort of like little winder. And this was me deciding, did I want to put any more on? I decided against it. So added a tiny little bit of journaling just to say it was Grandad and Grandma and we were at our house, but I didn't at this point add any more. I am going to add in a little bit more off camera. And at this point I decided I cannot cope without any form of mixed media, so I added some gold paint, just splatters. Not massive amount, just a few little splatters coming off around those clusters, because I just felt like I couldn't not do some kind of mixed media. It was weird not to do it. So I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, very similar to Sarah's original. I will try and remember to do a link in the description below so that you can perhaps go and buy her page kit, because I think she'll probably still have a few available on the Hey Little Magpie website. And please do check out Sarah's YouTube channel too, because totally credit to her. The vast majority of this is obviously inspired by her page originally. Just added in those few extra bits and pieces. So I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed making it. Please do put a thumbs up if you did, leave me a comment below and subscribe to see future videos. Until next time, bye.